A lot of people may not realize this, but our summer sports camp program is 39 years old. And when it first started, it was primarily a cadet run program. So the cadets have been a part of our program since day one. So it's part of the experience. We've been fortunate enough to have cadet involvement all the way through every year. And they're still a major part of everything we do. And they're part of the experience for the sports campers that come to campus every year.
Air Force sports camps are well known as a great summer option for young players, but what many may not realize is that a big part of that program is run by cadets. This year, 2 cadet athletes headed up oversight of the overnight campers. Women's soccer's Casey Stavig was commander, and volleyball player Denise Sozi was vice.
Denise and I are in charge of the well-being of 800 campers, and so that's a huge responsibility that we have to make sure that not only are they safe, but because they're minors, that everything on that end is taken care of as well.
This situation turns out to be a bonus for overnight campers as they get to live with cadets for an entire week.
A lot of the kids that come to our camps want to see the cadets. That's the big draw. And a lot of the campers that come here, and I should mention, we get campers from all 50 states, 7 or 8 countries every year. So it's a very well-known program. We get a lot of kids. But back to my point, they come here for the cadets. They want to experience cadet life. They want to see the academy. They want to get their foot in the door. So that's why the cadets are such an important part of our program.
Yesterday I talked to a Civil Air Patrol kid who is in middle school right now, and she was asking, how do I get in? Like, what do I need to get in? I was like, well, first of all, stay out of trouble. That's like the number one thing. I talked to her about her grades and how she needs to keep that up. And also just to come and like visit the academy, like come see like what it's all about, ask a lot of questions, not only for me, but like officers and enlisted members, asking what the Air Force is like, just to ask a lot of questions.
Sitting down, like having conversations with either other athletes that like want to come play at the Air Force Academy or that just kind of like need guidance or direction in their life. We've been able to make like big impacts on a lot of kids, and so I think that's the coolest thing. And then getting to hear a lot of their parents' stories. Like most of the kids come here, their parents are graduates, so they have some association with the academy, the athletic department, and so getting to hear their stories makes us feel like we're a part of something a lot bigger.
That something bigger is an Air Force at work throughout the world. And this chance to work with their peers gives these cadets a leadership opportunity like no other.
I think the hardest thing is that you have a group of people that are always on board and supporting you, and it's getting that other group that maybe has their reservations. And so being able to have like individual conversations has been like our biggest strength, and getting to know, I've met so many cadets that there's only 4,000 of us here, but I've never like had a lot of interactions with, and so that's the coolest part, is getting to know them and what motivates them. And so it's been difficult, but it's also an experience that it's very similar to what it's like in the operational Air Force, and so it's something that we've used guidance from either our coaches or our OICs or people in the athletic department. Say, I have problem X, can you help me solve it? And we've been able to get a lot of different opinions and advice as to how to go about these things.
Different people respond to what you say differently, so you have to understand like who they are as a person and what gets them motivated. So like for one example, I can say, hey, I need you to do this, and someone's like, oh my gosh, like why are you being so mean to me? But someone's like, okay, yeah, I can do that. So it's just how you communicate things, and we've learned that communication is a really big thing, especially when you're leading so many people, and then taking it onto the court or the field when you're dealing with a smaller unit of people. The communication aspect gets a lot easier just because you're talking to a smaller group of people. So we've learned how to like better communicate.
It's more of a squadron type of environment. So it gives cadets a taste of what they may experience once they're in the Air Force serving as officers. So it kind of gets them prepped for that. And they encounter situations that they may run into when they are in the Air Force. They have to supervise their equals, but they also have to supervise civilian staff that are maybe a little bit older than them. So it kind of forces them to go into an environment that they may not really be used to, but it'll also force them to adapt and be ready for what they may face when they're in the Air Force.
I think it's better prepared me to expect the unexpected, especially when you're leading. So that's kind of something that I'm ready for, versus before this program I was kind of like, oh, like anything can happen, yeah, but now literally anything can happen. So going into the Air Force next year when I commission as a lieutenant, I am ready to expect anything to happen. People beneath me to ask me questions or tell me how they're feeling and stuff like that. And we now know how to better respond to that and how to better help them out.
Make no mistake though, this experience differs in that campers are much younger than members of the Air Force. So sometimes these cadets have to learn about parenting as well.
Does it rethink your thoughts of maybe being a mom someday?
Yes, I've pushed back ever wanting to have children until like 50. So anyone out there, don't have kids. They have taught me a lot. They know so much more than I ever thought they did, which can be a good and a bad thing. And a lot of them are really grateful for the opportunities that they get to come here and really ask some great questions. And so they also can get into a lot of trouble, which has helped, Denise and I with our mom abilities and training us for what might come in the future, long down the road. So.
We're not having kids for a long time, but I am grateful for this experience because it has taught me. I do have younger siblings, but it's definitely taught me that kids are a blessing. Like, they know a lot. They keep you on your toes. They literally keep you on your toes. So the kids that are here are smart. They're intelligent kids, but they also like to have fun. And I like it because they keep us young. They really do. They keep us young.
Being young is just another reason for cadets to lead campers, using their own experience to make this time a truly special one for kids in camp.
They never cease to amaze me. I mean, we've got incredible cadets here at the Academy, and we throw them into a crazy environment, and it forces them to, take on that leadership role and make decisions on the fly and really think through what they're doing and how they're keeping those kids safe. So it's really special to see them up there, and they're such a vital part of our program. And again, I just can't stress how important it is to have them and how much kids love to interact with them and learn from them, and again get a taste of the Academy and what they may experience as future cadets. It's a great recruiting tool for us. It's a great way to showcase the Academy and how special our cadets are.